This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello viewers, you're watching Pulse of Africa. I'm Fron Namwak for the main news. First, our top stories for today. Namibia launched Phase 2 of Africa-Asia Youth Coding Initiative. Kenya to leverage sports to boost tourism sector. Zambia hopes to get extra $145 million from IMF program extension. Now, the news in detail. The Africa Health Sovereignty Summit was held in Accra, the capital of Ghana, on Tuesday with a call to reimagine global health governance amidst a rapid shifting geopolitical and economic landscape. During the event, Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama called for efforts to redesign the architecture that has excluded Africa's voices, needs, and innovations during the opening. He also said Africa needs to develop health systems that not only respond to health crises, but also generate resilience, promote equity, and enhance the dignity of its people, calling for a new approach to health financing on the continent. I extend an open invitation to all nations represented here to join us in building an African health investment ecosystem that is driven by purpose and is powered by equity and anchored in our sovereignty, the President added. Namibia on Wednesday launched the second phase of the Africa-Asia Youth Coding Initiative, aimed at integrating coding and artificial intelligence skills into the country's formal education system. The initiative is a partnership between the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, China-based coding education company, Chinese consumer electronics manufacturer, and Namibia's Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture. The launch marked a new phase for the project, which previously operated through after-school programs from 2021 to 2024, reaching more than 3,000 young people and 350 teachers. In her keynote address, Minister of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture, Sanet Steenkamp, said the program will empower youth to take ownership of Namibia's digital future. Kenya said on Wednesday that it will harness the power of sports to boost the tourism sector, underscoring the country's commitment to diversifying the sector beyond wildlife and beach products. Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, Rebecca Miano, told journalists in Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, that the East African nation will be promoted as a premier tourist destination by aligning the country's prowess in athletics, rugby, and other sport endeavors with tourism promotion efforts. According to the data from the Tourism Ministry, Kenya received 2.4 million foreign visitors in 2024, making it one of the main sources of foreign exchange alongside tea and horticulture. China and Zimbabwe on Wednesday signed an agreement on economic and technical cooperation and exchange of letters for a new batch of food assistance to boost Zimbabwe's socio-economic development and food security. Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa presided over the signing ceremony at the State House, where Zimbabwean Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Mutulai Ncube, thanked China for its continued support to various economic sectors in Zimbabwe. He said that the previous economic and technical cooperation agreements signed between the two countries in 2020 has supported, among other projects, the drilling of boreholes across the country and the implementation of the June Cow Technology Assistance Project that helped Zimbabwean farmers to cultivate hybrid grass rich in protein. In other news, Russian President Vladimir Putin and US President Donald Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, on Wednesday held talks on Ukraine and the prospect for bilateral ties, said Russian presidential aide Yuri Ushakov. As for the topics covered, then, first of all, of course, it's the Ukrainian crisis. And the second topic is the prospect for the possible development of strategic cooperation between the United States and Russia, Ushakov said, adding that the talk was very useful and constructive. Ushakov said that further details will follow after Trump is briefed on the outcome. Wittkopf previously visited Moscow on April 25 and St. Petersburg on April 11, holding talks with Putin. The world saw its third warmest July on record in 2025, with a slight respite from the unprecedented heat of the previous 2 years, which still reflects the ongoing trend of global warming, said the EU-funded Copernicus Climate Change Service on Thursday. The global average surface air temperature in July 2025 was 16.68 degrees Celsius. It was 0.27 degrees Celsius cooler than July 2023, the hottest July on record, and on 0.23 degrees Celsius cooler than July 2024, the second warmest. Still, it remained 1.25 degrees Celsius above the estimated pre-industrial level of 1850-1900. The heat extended across continents in Europe. The average land temperature reached 21.12 degrees Celsius last month, making it the fourth warmest July on record for the continent.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel, all the time. Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Now to business news. Zambia hopes to get an additional $145 million by extending its International Monetary Fund program by another 12 months, as Finance Minister said on Tuesday. It said last month that Zambia would ask the IMF to extend its loan program, which is due to expire in October, but did not say how much more money it was seeking. So far, it has received about $1.55 billion under the extended $1.7 billion extended credit facility. The IMF program gives the assurance that we are running things prudently. Finance Minister Stumbeko Mosokotoane told a press conference the additional financial support we are looking at is about $145 million, Mosokotoane added. Finally, Toyota Motor cuts its full-year operating profit forecast by 16% on Thursday, expecting a nearly $10 billion hit from U.S. tariffs on imported cars, higher material prices, and a stronger yen. The scale of the estimated tariff hit on the world's top-selling automaker highlights mounting margin pressure across the industry, as global car makers face rising costs from U.S. import levies on vehicles, parts, steel, and aluminum. It's honestly very difficult for us to predict what will happen regarding the market environment, said Takanori Azuma, Toyota's head of finance, during a briefing. The Japanese automaker would continue making cars for U.S. customers regardless of any impact from the tariffs, he said. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest update on global commodity prices. Now to weather updates. That's all for today, and thanks for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.